I'm swimming in a sea of pink petals. We're behind the scenes of the Real Flower Company. Join us as we walk through the beautiful flowers, row after row of roses. These are garden roses and 90% are scented. Just this morning, they picked over 1,000. They must have known I was coming.
I'm Brody Morton of the Real Flower Company. I set up the company in about 1995 through frustration because no rose had any scent that was delivered to florists, and I knew that roses should have scent. That's how I grew up. So I planted about 60 roses in a walled-in garden belonging to my mother-in-law, and this rose here, which is Margaret Merril, was the inspiration behind the whole company. And it just dreams to me of quintessential English rose. It's what it's all about. It's got the most fantastic tight bud, ivory, I suppose, to give it a proper, the right colour for it, opening to a lovely ivory blush, and the scent is absolutely exquisite. And that, to me, anybody who gets a bunch of those delivered to their door would just fall over backwards, because you open up a box and the scent hits you in the face. And that's what the Real Flower Company is all about, scented garden roses.
So Krista, where are you from?
Latvia.
Fantastic. And how do you find it over here? Do you like picking the flowers?
Yeah, I like.
I've had a busy morning picking the flowers. Now I'm running away with them.
This is Romantic Antique. It's a German rose grown by Cordes, German breeder, and we absolutely love it. Well, we love it and our customers love it as well, because it's just, you can see the colour of it is absolutely sensational. It's one of those roses that just goes with anything basically. You can put it with other roses, you can put it with herbs, other flowers, it just works. It's that lovely corally colour, and it starts in tight bud like that. But this is sort of half open, I would say. So when it's fully open, it's like a dinner plate. And the beauty of it is that it lasts for ages in a vase, which is ideal for us. We want our customers to be able to really appreciate these roses for the best part of a week. We guarantee 5 days, but we want them to last as long as possible. And this rose will do just that and more. And it just lives with you. Tight bud to fully open, it's absolutely stunning.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Robert Marsden. I'm manager of Rosebie Morton's Rose Farm, the Real Flower Company's Rose Farm. And this is Biff. He's just seen someone. He's on duty. Okay, off he goes.
Picked at 6:30 this morning. I'm in the fridge, chilling out with the flowers.
I really don't know what I would do without a fridge full of flowers.
This is Chandos Beauty, and the whole raison d'etre of the company was Margaret Merril, and this is Margaret Merril's daughter. So very apt, because she has got the most gorgeous scent, just like her mother, and she's also incredibly healthy. So anybody who is a rose lover and a gardener, this would be an ideal rose. It's bred by Harkness, one of the English breeders, and it is just superb. It wins loads of competitions for its scent, and it's lovely in a vase as well as growing beautifully in the garden. So definitely one to have.
So a newly planted rose, don't let it dry out. Make sure you give it plenty of water. In a hot summer, I would say twice a week, a good soaking. So a good bucket or two of water twice a week. And in cooler weather, once a week is fine. If it rains, then of course you can back down on the water a bit, but if it's hot and dry, you don't want to let it dry out, especially a newly planted rose.
I'm not sure if this is the colour of my lipstick or maybe this one.
This is pure poetry, and it is again one of our favourites because it is so healthy, and it's just one of those, I want to grow, I'm going to be amazing. And you can see it does grow into a sort of fairly big triffid under our polytunnels. It's rather good just seeing them here because this tight bud, and then it's starting to opening a bit more, and then it opens further into this and that, and then actually fully open, which we haven't got just here, but fully open, it looks like this great big dinner plate. The scent is just classic rose scent. It's that really rich raspberry blackcurranty, just stunning scent, and it's the kind of thing you can just lose yourself in. Almost good enough to eat.
There's also a lot of foliage being grown here, and unexpectedly we came across these beautiful blackberry bushes. I think I'm going to have to try just one.
They're very hungry plants, they love food, and you want to give them from the start plenty food. When you plant them, you want to put in a nice general feed like a fertilizer or a compost, and you want to mulch them with a good compost or some kind of organic medium. Generally try and find a slow release fertilizer that you can sprinkle on the surface and water in. It's very hard to overfeed and overwater a rose.
This is Evelyn, which is a David Austin rose. It's one of my favourite David Austins. The colour, the shape, the way it holds itself, you can see. I mean, this is it, obviously cut, the finished product. But as it's growing, it's got these lovely strong stems and beautiful bud formation, and the buds all hold themselves up. So in a garden it's ideal because you're not, often you have to support roses because their heads are too floppy. This is absolutely ideal, and the scent is just gorgeous. It really is. Again, you could just lose yourself in this for hours, I'm afraid.
I think that this one matches the colour of my dress. I wonder what you think.
This is Irish Hope, which is bred by Harkness, one of the breeders who's up in Hertfordshire, and this is one of my all-time favourites. I'm not actually that keen on yellow roses, but this is a pale lemon yellow, and just look at that formation and how many blooms there are on it, and that looks like a wasp that's loving it. It is just got the most gorgeous scent, and imagine that in your garden. There are so many blooms on one stem, really strong stem, really healthy, and it lasts beautifully in water, whereas a lot of yellow roses just go over very quickly. This one will last and last and last. Irish Hope, you couldn't want for more.
Select a good rose. If you look on all the growers and breeders websites now, they've got a section where they say plant health. So all the new breeders are breeding for plant health, and what they will do is they will spend all their time and effort growing a rose that doesn't get disease and that's really strong and vigorous, and that's the ones you want to try and grow.
In addition to the roses, there's so many other beautiful flowers here too, including these colourful larkspur.
So Chandos Beauty was that. Have a smell of that.
Amazing.
So that's the daughter. This is the mother. Mother looks a bit looks a bit sort of small in comparison.
Yeah.
But she packs that fantastic punch as far as scent goes, and when she opens, she just makes up for everything in tight. I mean, tight bud. She's still really pretty.
Yes.
But
definitely.
she's not quite so blousy.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Exactly. But when she opens, she really is just sensational.
Oh, this one, the mother. It's very nice. Very different, actually. Very different.
They are,
But both really amazing.
but they are all so different. That's what's so extraordinary about them all. But they've all got such character
They've got character. They've got them.
in their own ways. Chandos Beauty was the one that was incredibly healthy.
This one here.
Yeah.
Chandos Beauty.
Whereas Margaret Merril,
Yes.
the mother,
Yes.
does get black spot, which sounds like an awful affliction. But it's spread by rain.
By rain.
By rain.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
it's difficult to avoid.
yeah, it is difficult to
Well,
avoid.
that's why your roses are grown in the polytunnels.
Yeah, it's not. It definitely means that there's no black spot.
Yes.
But it's really to protect the blooms, because something like Margaret Merril is so delicate that when she opens and she's got rain splatter, it looks like measles, like tiny little measles all over it.
Wow.
And the brides and
Yeah,
customers, etc., don't like that.
No, of course.
So the polytunnels literally act as an umbrella. That's all they do.
Umbrella.
We're going to put some. This is called Ami Visnage.
Has that got smell?
No, that hasn't.
Because foliage.
Yeah, it's good sort of, filler. That's a Clary Sage.
It's a lovely Clary Sage there.
And then we just use some ornamental bramble.
Oh, okay.
So it just adds another dimension to a bouquet.
Yeah.
And there's no prickles. You feel that?
Right.
A normal bramble
Yeah.
in a hedgerow
Are they
are really
hybrids?
prickly.
Yes.
So it's a hybrid, exactly. And then
Blackberry type thing.
have a smell of that.
Oh yes. Lemon plant. Oh my god, one of my favourites.
It's actually rose scented. So it's rose of attar.
Right, you can get different varieties. I didn't know that.
Yes, lots of different varieties.
Lemon plant.
Yeah, so it's a pelargonium. Everyone calls it scented geranium, but it's actually pelargonium.
Pelargonium.
Pelargonium, and there's loads of different sorts. And that's more of the bramble I'm going to use. And then we've got some catmint.
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 Okay, my
And
cats
then-
would like that.
And then that's apple mint.
See, this is nice and strong. I can smell that.
And as I'm going, I'm just taking off the lower
Okay.
stems.
Can I give you a hand?
That'd be very kind. Yeah, do grab a. And so what you don't want is you don't want this foliage in the water.
Yes.
Because the biggest killer of flowers is dirty water.
Oh really?
So if you can keep the lower levels, the water
Yes,
clean,
yes, yes.
the flowers will last a lot longer.
Oh my
And it means you'll get a good 5 to 7 days out of your bouquets,
There you go. You see, something I didn't know.
which is and a lot of people don't realise that. So you just take all the lower leaves off,
Right.
and then you're in business.
Yay.
So with this, it seems a bit criminal, but I'm going to do that because that's going to be above the water level. Yep, that's perfect.
Amazing.
Get rid of that, and then we're
Not that much again.
just about ready to start.
What's this one?
That's Clary Sage again. Salvia horminium is its Latin name, and it comes in that purple.
Yeah.
That purple and the pink.
you're
Whoops,
right,
I've broken it. But that's
Oh yes, yes.
yeah,
They
and
look
then
very,
they look quite exotic, really, don't
They
they?
do. Very, very nice. Almost orchid-like.
Yeah, yes, they do. It is. Yeah, I know what you mean. And it's an annual, which means that it'll self-seed all over the place and flower.
That's what we like,
Just
you know.
pop up all over the place. So with a hand tie, we start with the sort of the prima donna, the main rose, and then we're going to put a bit of that in, and the Clary Sage, and a bit of the catmint, and then I'm going to put. The first few stems go straight down, and then you start to build them out at the same angle. I haven't taken all the prickles off, but we're going to for now we're just going to do it without taking all the prickles off. So we put that like that, and we turn it a quarter turn, and then put a bit of the geranium in, and then turn it a quarter of a turn, and put a Margaret Merril in, and a bit of, that was the broken Clary, put that in, turn it again, quarter of a turn, and that's the Chandos Beauty. And if I was actually at our workshop, the Real Flower Company, they wouldn't be letting me make bouquets because they are very tidy and they're very organised. And I come in and they roll their eyes to the heavens. They go, "Oh God, here comes the mad woman who puts stuff everywhere." But I get carried away because all these flowers mean so much to me that they are sensibly getting on with their job, and I'm jumping around going, "Oh, smell that! Isn't that fantastic?"
That's what I would do.
Yeah, I know. So I'm a liability. I'm only brought in if they're really desperate. So we're just
This is a more fun way.
yeah, exactly. Well, it's all about the growing, and I stick to the growing and the the sourcing of different products, and I let talented florists make our beautiful bouquets. That makes much more sense. So that's the bit of that going in.
You need an eye colour as well, don't you?
Well, actually in nature though, don't you think?
Yeah.
That it's hard to have a clash in nature. I think.
Yeah.
I think people can get very sort of particular about, oh, I'm having a white garden and I'm having this garden, but actually everything goes at the end of the day. I like the flowers to do the talking.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's what it's all about, and that's what the Real Flower Company is all about. Really, is not trying to be clever with them, but just actually put flowers together that all work, and that's what we try and do.
Yeah.
So I'm speeding this along a bit.
It's definitely
The
working.
am is going in. Look at the stem on that. It's amazing, and that's the other thing, is actually trying to let know of how natural, just picked from the garden, and beauty should take over from total perfection.
Precisely.
Look at that.
Oh, that's so amazing.
And I say, I've sort of self-taught on the hand ties, so I'll get rid of that, keep picking it up. We're nearly finished. And then we're going to put the scented geranium as a collar around the outside. So just put that in there.
The geranium, I always thought the lemon plant.
Yeah, and well, there is a lemon plant. I haven't put any mint in actually. So we'll stick that in the middle there.
Mint in a bunch of flowers.
Yes,
Interesting.
mint and sage, all these things.
Amazing.
And actually, I think herbs work so well with roses. They really do. I'm just going to pull. The beauty about making hand ties, you can just pull them, the roses out a bit, so that if you're, so they're not hidden by the foliage, just by cutting the stems off. And normally you'd cut them at an angle because the more surface area there is for the water to be taken up, the longer the flowers will last. But people often worry about making a hand tie, and it's actually very simple once you know how. And as I think I said earlier on, it's all just about turning the bouquet and putting the stems in at the same angle, and you can very quickly make something like that really quite easily. I am not trained in any shape or form, but if you're a gardener, you can work out what looks good in a bouquet, and that's what we try and do at the Real Flower Company. We like the flowers to do the talking. If anyone would like to win one of these bouquets from the Real Flower Company, please just tell us why.